How's it going, guys? It's Brad C at a WWE Raw review from last night. Let's get started with it. So Raw starts off with Kurt Angle in the ring, of course. Of course, Extreme Rules, Kurt Angle laid the ultimatum here telling Brock show up on Raw or come to terms with a title defense, or Kurt would strip Brock of the title. And since Kurt could not get any negotiations with Brock or didn't hear anything, Kurt was about to announce that Brock was stripped of the title. As he was about to do that, Paul Heyman would come out. Of course, Paul Heyman saying Brock Lesnar was not there. Kurt telling Paul that Paul's now just delaying the inevitable. And as Kurt's about to say Brock is stripped of the title, Paul Heyman comes out saying Paul Heyman runs to the ring begging for mercy. And during all this, the crowd is chanting strip the title. So Paul Heyman would would go to the ring, and Paul Heyman would try to sell Kurt the idea of Brock winning the UFC heavyweight title, since the UFC heavyweight title is Brock Lesnar's #1 priority. Anyway, he'd try and sell Kurt on the idea of Brock winning the UFC heavyweight title while holding the Universal title at the same time. Yes, that would actually be quite a cool moment. Like, it would shut down all those haters, because that would officially make Brock one of the greatest of all time, because Brock would become probably the only WWE star to hold a WWE World title and a UFC heavyweight title at the same time. However, Kurt drives a hard bargain, saying that ain't gonna fly, because Brock ain't defending the title for a while. And then Kurt tells Paul that Brock Lesnar will defend the title at SummerSlam, or Brock will be stripped of the title. So Paul Heyman accepts and says that Brock will defend the title at SummerSlam. But who will face Brock? We'll have to see. So then after that, Bobby Lashley would come out. Bobby Lashley, of course, saying he should be the next to challenge Lesnar since he did beat Roman Reigns. And Lashley's saying he's now the new big dog. Honestly, he's more of a legit dog than Roman Reigns. Then Drew McIntyre would come out and of course he'd say that he didn't come back to WWE to be Dolph Ziggler's muscle. Saying that Dolph winning the Intercontinental title is phase 1. And that Drew McIntyre says becoming Universal Champion is phase 2 of his master plan. Then Elias Sampson would come out, and of course Elias saying he should get a shot with since his debut album is coming out next week. Then Seth Rollins comes out, he gets Ryan Drew's face and tells Kurt if he's looking for an opponent for Brock Lesnar, then Seth is the man. Then Finn Balor comes out, and Finn says he should face Lesnar since he never got his rematch for the title. He never lost. Yes, it's been almost 2 years, and Finn has still yet to get his one-on-one rematch, let alone a rematch of any kind. And then the next person to come out is Vince McMahon's worthless piece of trash, boring fuckface. He come out, he gets booed, he looks like he woke up from a goddamn nap. Because it's same boring-ass entrance as always, because in boring fuckface's world, that's how he thinks care of himself is cool when it's not. Anyway, Roman Reigns, I'm not going to make any excuses. Roman Reigns, I lost fair and square at Extreme Rules. Roman Reigns, I just want to fight somebody tonight. Roman Reigns, because this is my yard now. So for once, Roman, you actually didn't make a fucking excuse for a change. Congratulations, what the fuck do you want, a fucking medal? And number 2, it's not your fucking yard. You couldn't beat Braun Strowman, you can't beat Brock Lesnar, and now you can't beat Bobby Lashley. Get fucked. So then Kurt Angle goes on and says that there will be 2 triple threat matches tonight, with the winners facing each other next week for the right to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. So we'd start off with triple threat match number 1. This one will consist of Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, and Drew McIntyre. Highlights of the match, and Roman fails in the match. Roman's BS Superman comeback was crap. The clotheslines, the punches. Roman would only get 2 out of 10 clotheslines to shin in the corner. Roman's drive-by dropkick was almost off target on Drew. Looked like he was getting more air. Finn's sling blade and drive-by corner drop kick was good. Coup de grace was also good. However, Drew would break the count out at 2. Match ending. Drew McIntyre will hit the Claymore on Finn Balor. Roman would then hit the Stupid Man Punch on Drew McIntyre for getting Drew out of the ring. And then Roman would hit the Spear on Finn Balor to get the 3 count for the win. So Roman will be in the number 1 contenders match next week. Alright. So once again, Roman may begin another goddamn underserved Universal title opportunity. Like, seriously. This guy, Roman, has had 2 fucking opportunities, and he's pissed both away. Roman needs to head to the back of the line. Next up, we get a one-on-one match. Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler versus Bobby Roode. This was actually a pretty good match, back and forth. Match ending, Bobby Roode would tweak his knee after coming off the top rope. That would allow Dolph Ziggler to hit the super kick on Roode to get the 3 count for the win. Of course, next up, we get another one-on-one match. We get Mojo Rawley versus Tyler Breeze. Before the match, Mojo Rawley would find Bobby Roode backstage and he'd mock him for losing to Dolph Ziggler. The match itself, it was a goddamn squash match. Match ending, Mojo Rawley will hit the sprinting forearm Alabama Slam combo to get the 3 count for the win. So I guess the Alabama Slam is Mojo Rawley's new finisher. Okay, interesting. Next up, we then get a backstage segment between Kurt and Bayley, where, of course, Bayley is filing her friendship report to Kurt Angle from the Friendship Counseling. Goddamn. Then, of course, Bayley's saying it did not go well. Bayley, of course, telling Kurt that she tried to make it meet halfway with Kurt Angle, and it just didn't work out. Then Kurt says he took the wrong approach and is saying that they shouldn't settle it in counseling. They should settle in the ring. Exactly what I said. So then Kurt decides to make Bayley and Sasha team up in a tag team match against Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox. So 2 jobbers. This doesn't have the capacity to not end poorly. Of course, Bayley's saying it's not going to work, but Kurt said he's going to guarantee it works. Because Kurt threatens to trade one of them to SmackDown if they don't get along. So to the match itself. Boring match. Well, they're facing 2 jobbers, so it's going to be boring. Match ending. Sasha would make an aggressive effort to protect Bayley from a ringside attack, which would force a DQ. So Alicia Fox and Dana Brooke were going to win the match regardless. Of course, backstage, Sasha's saying she won't allow anyone except herself to beat up Bayley. So, of course, Sasha's admitting it's all about her. And then Sasha says she still loves Bayley for a variety of reasons, with those reasons being comfort emotions, desire to be friends with everybody, and the fact that she always cares. So, we're not getting Bayley versus Sasha Banks feud yet? God damn it. Next up, we get a tag team match. We get the Bandwagon team, the new Raw Tag Team Champions, Curtis Axel and Bo Dumbass, and the Bandwagon team against Ass Tension. Of course, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, the Revival, were watching backstage. Boring match. Very quick match. Match ending, Bo hits spinning neckbreaker to get 3 count for the win. After the match, Broken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt would appear on the Titantron and announce that they would invoke their rematch clause next week on Raw. So yeah, Bandwagon team's probably going to retain anyway, because we can't have anything unpredictable happen on a Raw episode. Next up, we get the Alexa Bliss Victory Lap segment. Of course, Alexa Bliss celebrating her women's title defense over Nia Jax, successfully retained the title. She also takes some shots at Ronda Rousey, saying Ronda could not get to Alexa last night. That would actually bring Ronda Rousey showing up through the crowd. And Ronda would then jump the barricade and attack Alexa Bliss. As Ronda's about to lock in the armbar on Alexa, Kurt Angle will come out and prevent that from happening. And then Kurt tells Ronda, since Ronda violated her suspension, with 2 days left, Kurt Angle announces that Ronda's suspension will be extended for another week. But there's a catch to this. Kurt tells Ronda, though, if she successfully serves it for another week, Kurt tells Ronda she will be the next to challenge Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam. Of course, backstage after that, Constable Baron Corbin comes to meet Kurt, and Corbin tells Kurt that he demands more on Ronda. He demands the hammer to get dropped on Ronda Rousey and threatens to protest with Stephanie McMahon. Kurt would refuse, and then Kurt would steal Baron's phone and leave Baron Corbin on a wild goose chase. So yeah, next up, we got a tag team match. Akam and Ray Sorry, Authors of Pain versus Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil at Titus Worldwide. Squash match, who cares? Squash match. AOP hits the last chapter to get the 3 count for the win. In other news, grass is green. Next up, we get a women's match. We get Ember Moon versus Sarah Logan of the Riot Squad. It was actually a pretty decent match, back and forth. It was meh. Match ending, Ember Moon will be on the top rope, setting up for the Eclipse. Liv Morgan would trip Ember Moon off the top rope. Sarah Logan will take advantage of it to get the 3 count for the win. So you make Liv Morgan look weak, but Sarah Logan looks strong. And Ruby Riott is still out with the injury. Alright, next up, we get to our main event, the second triple threat match. This one consists of Elias, Bobby Lashley, and Seth Rollins. Of course, the winner will face Roman Reigns in the number one Universal title, number one contenders match next week. Highlights in the match. Elias' knees were pretty good. Seth's suicide dive was also good, on point. Seth's sling blade was well executed. The Falcon Zero was also great. Seth's stomp was on point, however, on Elias, but Lashley would break the count into 2, and the match continues. Lashley had some good moves there, along with the verticos and the spine busters and whatnot. Match ending, Elias would throw Seth Rollins out of the ring. Bobby Lashley would then hit the spear on Elias, and by the way, Lashley hits that spear better than Roman Reigns ever can. And Lashley gets the 3 count for the win. So next week on Raw, it'll be Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. The winner faces Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at SummerSlam. Well, Lashley won the first match at Extreme Rules. I think we know who's winning this match, because we can't have anything unpredictable happen. And that's where we end Raw. So, really, mediocre episode. Pretty meh. Matt, so, final rating. Raw gets 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 rating for me. Meh show. More mediocre at best. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone has a great day. And yeah, peace out.